The visualization ability of Map Suite Web API Edition can be customized to show information exactly the way you want. It's possible to filter regions by attribute, display graphs of important data, create a custom style with your own icons, show frequency of events, map intensity, and more. This sample shows just a few of the popular ways to visualize data in Map Suite Web API Edition. The first visualization style we'll look at is the filter style. Filter style only shows features that meet a certain criteria. In this example, we use population of U.S. states. When the population meets the criteria, the state is displayed in the style. The settings dialog can be accessed by clicking the gear icon on the menu in the upper left corner. In this dialog, it is possible to change the value and condition that sets the criteria. This sample begins by highlighting states with a population greater than or equal to 3 million. Let's change it to less than 2.4 million. You can change the layer style by clicking the layer icon on the menu. The next visualization style we'll look at is the cluster style. Instead of displaying every point, cluster style merges multiple data points into a cluster. In this example, the number of earthquakes is shown. For regions with many earthquakes, one larger cluster is displayed. Next, let's take a look at a custom style. Map Suite Web API Edition is extremely versatile. We open up the API to allow you to create a custom style that meets your specific needs. This custom style example displays weather and was built to show you that anything is possible. Next, let's look at the Zed Graph. Zed Graph can show pie, bar, and line charts on your map. In our example, we display pie charts that represent the demographics of major U.S. cities. Next, let's look at the class break style. It's similar to filter style, but instead of either showing or not showing a feature, class break style displays features differently depending on what range the value falls into. Here we show U.S. states colorized based upon population, with blue representing a sparsely populated state, red a densely populated one, and other colors representing states in between. Next, let's look at dot density style. This is a visual representation of density using dots. The dots are randomly spread out across the feature. The dots in our example represent the density of that state, not where the population is located. Next, let's look at isoline style. Isoline style delineates regions of similar values. Here we show regions that have experienced a similar magnitude of earthquake in the same color, and separate those regions with isolines. This is similar to what you might have seen on an elevation map. Next, let's look at icon style. Icon style displays icons on a map, such as vehicles. Finally, let's look at the heat map. The heat map creates a radius around the point, with the color corresponding to the value. In our example, we show earthquakes with a colored radius corresponding to the magnitude. All right, let's take a look at the code. Here's the client-side page. The div Styles panel holds the list of styles that can be displayed on the map when the user clicks the Layers button on the menu. This div Edit panel shows settings shows the style settings that are displayed for the layers that have dynamic parameters. In our example, only filter style has dynamic parameters. Here we import the jQuery and leaflet libraries. We could also use open layers instead of leaflet. Here we use jQuery to handle the click event that tells Leaflet the URL of the WebAPI visualization controller used to redraw the style. The WebAPI visualization controller uses a route prefix of tile. Let's look at the visualization controller. Since the styles other than filter style are static, they can be cached. They're cached on the server before the user ever arrives on the web page. Filter style is dynamically generated based upon the style settings. The function getTile calls filter style overlay to create the filter style overlay, but pulls from the cache for other styles. Because this is a REST web API controller, a REST-based web API controller, we do not use the session state to save the style. We save it to a local JSON file. But you could also use a database or another mechanism for saving user data settings. Let's look at the overlay builder. In overlay builder, the style is added to the feature layer. Attributes for the styles are completely customizable. For example, it's possible to modify the size and color of the clusters in cluster style. The ranges of the class break style, the colors of the ISO lines in ISO line style, and the icons and features of the custom style. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask a question on the forum or contact us directly. Thank you for watching the Web API Visualization Learning Sample.